If I had to describe this show in a few words, they would be bizarre, odd, and uncomfortable. And yet I really liked the show. Plus, I think there's a lot that can be unpacked here, so I'm not going to spoil the show at all. But I've only seen this show once so far, and I was so tempted to rewatch it before talking about it, but I really wanted to get my initial thoughts out, and then see how or if my opinions change about it. So I'll try my best to remember as much as I can. So the quick IMDb synopsis of this show is: a newlywed couple struggle to make their vision for eco-living a reality in a small New Mexico town. That's it. At first, it seemed a bit slow and dry, but it just kept escalating. I didn't always know what was happening, and it definitely kept me on my toes. What got me even interested in watching this was seeing a promo here and there. The long pauses, the lack of music. I just really liked that it didn't give much away. And it also felt ominous, yet comedic in some way.
When the night has come and the land is dark and the moon is the only light we'll see.
So we have our main characters: Whitney, played by Emma Stone, Asher, played by Nathan Fielder, and Dougie, played by Benny Safdie. Asher and Whitney were completely unlikable in my opinion. I don't know if this was on purpose, but I definitely did not see them as good, genuine people. I mean, I guess I could see with how it ended, maybe we were supposed to think a certain someone was the problem, but I really thought that the whole dynamic between these three was odd. We see how they are behind closed doors, behind the cameras. I've really started to get annoyed with Whitney and Asher, actually. They're the typical lefty types. I don't know how else to describe them. They are intolerant of guns, they refuse to call the police on people committing crimes, so much so that Whitney willingly pays for any stealing within her store.
How many is that?
5.
They are offended on behalf of people. There's a part where Whitney buys a statue of an Indian, like at a golf course or wherever, because it was mentioned by her friend how silly it was. She takes it and tries to gift it to her. Like, hey, I took a statue that I find offensive, and you probably find it offensive too. Look how progressive I am.
Is she even allowed to wear that? I mean, it's kind of politically incorrect.
They are overly sensitive, going out of their way to not offend anyone, which actually can be seen as offensive and silly to those people. Whitney even gets trolled by a native guy because he can see through her bullshit. He knows what she expects from him and plays along for his own amusement. That part was pretty funny. They assume what others' lives are like, and they see themselves like the white saviors coming into some shitty town to make it better. Even the locals seem a bit perplexed by them.
Just joking around.
Asher really needed to grow a backbone. He gets walked over a lot, he's timid, but then he has outbursts here and there, which were kind of funny because it comes out of nowhere and the people around him don't know how to deal with it. The look of the show was really great in my opinion. There are not a lot of close-ups that I can remember. They do a lot of wide shots, like being a fly on the wall. It felt very purposeful the way the scenes were shot. It also adds to some of the uncomfortableness of it all. The camera lingered at times, making it impossible to look away. It locks you into the scene. And now, as I am editing this together, I think what else made me feel awkward was them showing the footage they were shooting for the show. Seeing the juxtaposition of their real life and the fakeness of the show, it's like we were watching a reality show of this show. Many of the camera movements make it seem like we are watching behind the scenes, while the shots of the reality show are more clean and stable. I really enjoyed the music as well. Even the little snippets of music for transitions or the title card were fascinating. It was eerie and unsettling at times. The ending song was so beautiful and haunting. The acting overall was great as well. The child actors not so much, but luckily there were really only 2 of them, and the girl that played Nala was the better of the 2 for sure. There was some awkwardness with people with small roles, but I kind of didn't mind that because to me, it felt more real. This was a couple filming a reality show. We see the setups and behind the scenes moments, which can be a little weird, so I appreciated that. I really enjoyed the atmosphere of the show. This has comedy, drama, and I guess a bit of sci-fi. The whole curse thing obviously was ominous, purposefully shot to add mystery, and throughout you are also questioning if it's legit. Even though this is called The Curse, I ended up forgetting about the whole scene unless it was mentioned. There was so much going on that it seemed more like a background element. Speaking of the ominous nature of the show, there was a scene at a chiropractor that was shot almost like a thriller scene. I Am the Captain Now is getting service, like horrifyingly so, It's like a torture scene. He's being forced into these uncomfortable positions. It's very strange.
Lean back against me, and then...
I think you should...
The beginning of the last episode started with a situation that's so odd that it could come off as silly. But at the end of it all, I was just in awe and a bit sad. The ending is horrifying to me. It has to be one of the most memorable endings of a show. The last 5 to 10 minutes, we have to sit there and watch something so bleak and terrifying, and you just want it to stop. Then on the other hand, it is mixed with another scene filled with joy.
My homes are reflecting the local communities. Come on. And we're husband and wife, so what could go wrong?
But in the end, this show was out of this world. And I can't wait to watch it again. So yeah, those are some of my thoughts on the show, my first watch. I know this was a bit all over the place, but I really wanted to say something about it. I wasn't sure how many people were even talking about it, honestly. I hope you enjoyed my video, and I really hope you go watch the show for yourself. I think there's so many ways to interpret everything that happened. Keep an open mind when you go into it. Thank you for watching.